Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Calvin Tobin Show. I am your host, Calvin Tobin. Today we have a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. Alright, the Minnesota Wild took on the Edmonton Oilers last night in a game that all hockey fans were ready to embrace, and it was looked forward to as a really talented game full of exciting players, from Connor McDavid to Kirill Kaprizov to their superstar goalies Mikko Koskinen and Cam Talbot. Now, in this game, Minnesota was sniffing out for a 7th straight victory, and they got it, winning 4-1 and improving their record to 18-6-1. Now, in this game, you would expect that maybe Connor McDavid or Kirill Kaprizov or Zarekalo or even maybe Draisaitl would have been the difference maker in this game, but it wasn't. It was actually Minnesota's goalie, Cam Talbot, as he absolutely helped them to a dominant win, because this dude he saved 38 of Edmonton's 39 shots, and he has been turning himself, over this 7-game win streak, he has turned himself into one of the top goalies in the league. And he's only played in 5 of the 7 games, and in those 5 games, he's allowed 1.8 goals per game, and it is completely and utter dominance from that first game they won till now, of now getting 7 straight victories. And because of Talbot's dominance, Minnesota was able to make the Oilers look completely inferior, and that is not normal for Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl, as they both lead the league in points with 43 points apiece. But everyone has bad nights, and Minnesota sure as hell took advantage of that. Now, for Minnesota, here is the most exciting news for them. The most exciting news is that they have found their future and now franchise player in Kirill Kaprizov. He leads his team in points and assists, and this guy is an absolute, and has turned himself into a complete, dominant, and fantastic player, because he knows how to get himself out of sticky situations, and he knows how to put the puck in the right spot. And he has got a great career ahead of him, and I can't wait to watch this kid perform. Now, as for Edmonton, they are on a bit of a downslope right now, but I am very confident that they will bounce back. Because they got Connor McDavid, they got Leon Draisaitl, they got Zach Hyman, they got Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Mikko Koskinen. These guys are built to win games night in and night out. But like I said, they are a bit on a downslope by losing 3 games in a row, but I do have confidence that they can bounce back. But they are about to have a huge struggle within the next week, because they got to face Boston, then Carolina, and then Toronto. And that is the pit of doom for them right there, to very easily lose 6 in a row. But it's Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. Ain't no way they are going to do that. They will definitely bounce back and turn themselves back into who they are, as one of the top 3 best teams in the league today. Now, speaking of struggles, Damian Lillard and Portland aren't looking too hot, because Damian Lillard just asked the Trailblazers for a 2-year, $107 million contract, which averages out to $53.5 million per year. Now, why is it a sticky situation for Damian in Portland? Well, getting that Damian Lillard is a very loyal player, and he wants to bring a championship to Portland. But as of right now, that is not going to happen, because Portland is a team that is a first-round exit every single year they go. And right now also, Portland is also not looking too hot with what they got going on with Dame and one of their other all-star players, CJ McCollum, just suffered from a right collapsed lung, and they're further reevaluating him further into this week so they can see how bad this collapsed lung is and what's his time frame to return. But Damian Lillard, this guy, he has to move and go to a different team. He has to if he wants to win a championship. Because he's, in his 9th, 10th year already? And he's been to the playoffs about 4 or 5 times. He's been there 6 times out of his 9, 10-year career. And he has lost in the first round almost every single time. This is not good. This is not looking for Damian Lillard as the clutchest player in NBA history. If he wants to win a championship, go to a team like the LA Lakers, maybe even the Clippers. Help out Boston, or maybe even get Dallas a second superstar to help out Luka, because Kristaps Porzingis ain't even doing it for him because they've been a first-round exit for the last couple of years. But like I said, Damian has to move to a bigger market if he wants more money and to play for a better chance at a NBA title, because Portland is not it. Alright, now, the NFL top 10 teams just came out, and here are my top 10 teams. Number 1 is Arizona, self-explanatory, 10-2 with Kyler Murray making ridiculous plays and throwing the ball with throwing ridiculous dives to D-Hop, Christian Kirk, Rondale Moore all over the field. Number 2 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, also self-explanatory for their spots. Tom Brady, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Rob Gronkowski dominating year in and year out, or game in and game out, and they're just looking like they might run it back to back. Number 3, Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers making his offense look ridiculous as usual, even though they are not as talented as Aaron Rodgers is making them look. Number 4, New England Patriots, Bill Belichick is turning Mac Jones into a superstar right off the bat in his rookie year, as Mac Jones has led the Patriots to the top of the AFC right now with a 9-4 record. Number 5 is Kansas City with a 5-straight win streak, but Patrick Mahomes is looking a little bit iffy with those numbers, but he's still getting his team the victory. Number 6 is Baltimore. Great game against Pittsburgh. Should have been a lot better because Baltimore is a lot better than Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh has got that defense that can pretty much stop anybody. But Baltimore unfortunately did lose this game on a last-second mishap of a throw to Mark Andrews. Number 7, LA Rams. Matthew Stafford is making this Rams offense look way better than Jared Goff ever did, and he's helping one of his superstar wide receivers putting up a career year, as he is now 13 games into the season with 1,366 yards for Cooper Kupp. Number 8 is Dallas with a great win over the New Orleans Saints, winning 27-17. And now for the rest of the year, they practically got easy games, but not truly gonna show if they are a true and great playoff team and might be a first-round exit. Number 9, LA Chargers crushing the Cincinnati Bengals. Justin Herbert is gonna be challenging Patrick Mahomes for many years to come, and it's going to be epic. But Justin Herbert absolutely destroyed the Bengals on defense, manipulating coverages all day long as they blew them out 41-22. And last but not least, number 10, the Buffalo Bills. And this one, it's a bit iffy on if they should be in the top 10 because they are 7-5, and they did lose in a close game, 14-10, to the Patriots. But if that game wasn't the windiest game in NFL history, how much different would that game have been? Could Buffalo have came out on top? Because Josh Allen did throw only 50%, which is atrocious numbers in general, but windiest game is going to have some play into that, and that game you just had to rush the entire time. Alright, now, for the LA Chargers, real quick, both their all-star receivers, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, are now on the COVID-19 reserve list, and now their status to be able to play in Sunday's game versus the New York Giants is a bit questionable. But even if they don't play, we would actually get a chance, even though it's against a terrible team, we would actually get a chance to see how Justin Herbert can handle the heat without his best receivers, and how can he utilize his football IQ and getting the football down the field without those guys. Now, Seattle is not looking hot at all because Russell Wilson is having one of the, if not the worst year of his career in Seattle, and now Seattle has just lost their Pro Bowl safety Jamal Adams for the season due to a shoulder injury. Now, with Jamal Adams' injury now, this is going to be a bit iffy if Russell Wilson is going to stay, because Russell Wilson is like LeBron James when he played for the Cavs. He is dragging, other than 2013 and 2014, from there on, he's been dragging this team to every single victory that they can possibly get. He puts up unbelievable numbers because he's such a fantastic quarterback. Now, how much better could he look with a team who's normal on going to the playoffs and actually has a chance at Super Bowl chances? But because after this year, who knows if Russell Wilson is going to stay or not. And if they don't, the Seattle Seahawks are about to go from a team that actually has its head above water, just barely, even with Russell Wilson making all these ridiculous plays and stats throughout a game. If Russell Wilson leaves, they are about to be so far underwater, it's not even funny. But it could be Pete Carroll, and it probably is, but it's also 50-50 on the players that Seattle has and Pete Carroll's play calling, because play calling always has the biggest effects into any game whatsoever. Alright, that's the end of the Calvin Tobin Show. Please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any sports media. And please follow me on Instagram at Calvin Tobin Show so you don't miss out on any sports news whatsoever. And